Welcome to another podcast from Holy Trinity Boston. I heard a story once about a man who went to the doctor and he says, "Doctor, I'm feeling really depressed. Life seems harsh and cruel. It feels that everything is threatening me and what lies ahead in the world is vague and uncertain." And the doctor says to him, "Well, you're in luck. The treatment is simple. The great clown Pagliacci's in town tonight. Go and see him. He's never been unable to make someone laugh. That should pick you up." And the man bursts into tears. "But doctor," he says, "I am Pagliacci." Lots of us at this time are trying to reach out and help the people around us, care for our families, care for our friends, care for our neighbors. And yet that takes resources, that takes strength, that takes energy. And when we look inside, we've discovered that perhaps we're on the verge of running on empty and there doesn't seem much left. I'm reminded of the story of Jesus, who is in the middle of the day and he's sitting by a well. His disciples have gone off into town to buy some food. And a woman comes along. It's unusual because you wouldn't normally draw water in the middle of the day in the heat, but she comes to the well all the same. And as she's drawing water, Jesus asks her for a drink. And she's really surprised because, you see, they come from two different communities. He's a man and she's a woman. He's a Jew, she's a Samaritan. They wouldn't normally associate. And Jesus said to him, "If you knew the gift of God and who it was who was asking you for a drink, you would ask him and he would give you life-giving water." And this confuses the woman a bit. She says, "Look, you don't have any bucket. You can't draw from the well. It's deep. Where can I get living water?" And Jesus says, "Everyone who drinks the water from this well, they're going to be thirsty again, but whoever drinks the water I give will never thirst. Indeed, the water that I give them will become a spring of water welling up to eternal life." You know, God offers to each one of us that spring, that resource welling up inside us to provide all that we need to meet our needs, to satisfy the thirst. And for many of us today, he did that for us many years ago. He placed within us his spirit. And yet it seems that we've lost the way to the spring. Maybe we've allowed it to become overgrown. Each year I go on holiday to an island off the coast of Scotland, and there I stay in a croft. And the water supply in the croft comes in through a pipe from the stream on the hill. But in the hot summers, the water supply fails. And if that happens, we've got to go searching for the spring that's just down from the croft. Sometimes it's hard to find. Boulders have fallen into it. The moss has grown up, the grass, and we need to clear it out. But when we do, what we find is cool, refreshing water. Maybe some of us have allowed that spring to become clogged, and we need to look around and clear it out now and find that spring, or maybe even ask for it for the first time. That cool spring of water that quenches our thirst, not just today or tomorrow. It meets our needs, not just for the current crisis, but for eternity. God bless you. We're praying for you. Take care.